This is my retire on 800 a month in Dumaguete, Philippines information. This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, the YouTube channel for Vagabond Buddha. We're presently touring the Philippines, investigating the best place to retire cheap in paradise. Dumaguete is definitely one of the best places in the world to retire cheap. Let me explain how I know this. I've been traveling the world since 2007, 65 countries so far. I return to the USA for a week or two every year, but the rest of the time I slow travel the world. I make videos and write reports. Visit this link to see more than 50 retire cheap reports worldwide. There's a link below this YouTube video. Just click more information. One of the biggest mistakes you can make living internationally is to buy food in the expat grocery stores. What cost you $1 at home could easily cost you $3 in an expat grocery store. Remember, it is fancy foreign food once it's shipped internationally to the Philippines, the stuff you buy at home that you think of home food. That is a mistake you could easily make here in Dumaguete. The local food is so meat-centric that you'll be continually tempted to buy snacks and treats from home in the grocery stores like Robinson's and Hypermart. This could easily double your food budget if you were not careful. Watch our top 10 mistakes international retirees make, link provided, to learn the other 9 big mistakes you could make as an international retiree. Instead, go on daily adventures the first few months to identify what the locals eat. By doing that, you'll quickly identify a variety of foods that locals eat and you also enjoy. This will easily stay within your food budget once you know these spots. Watch our Cost of Food and Life in Dumaguete, Philippines video, link provided, to see what I mean. As you will watch us eat food and life video, a nice dish in a local restaurant in Dumaguete is as little as $2 per person. In fact, 𝐂𝐻oi's favorite local restaurant is only $1 per meal. That same dish in a tourist restaurant here in Dumaguete could easily cost 4 to 6 times as much. Locals can easily find a 1-bedroom apartment for less than $250 a month, plus utilities of around $50 per month. Yet if you want a 3-bedroom house in a nice area, expat area, you could easily spend $600 or $500 depending on square footage and amenities. See 𝐕𝐚𝐠 for Dumaguete, link provided. We stayed in a beautiful 2-bedroom cottage for $380 US per month plus utilities. We take you on a video tour of that cottage in our social distancing in the Philippines video, link provided. Consider whether or not you could retire on 800 a month in Dumaguete, Philippines. Here's a table that you can use that starts with the big 3: rent, food, and local transportation. Again, link provided. Estimated cost of living in Dumaguete. Okay, it ranges for a backpacker type all the way up to someone like myself who likes to live in a furnished 2-bedroom cottage like this with a fully equipped kitchen. Your range somewhere between about $400 to $800 a month, and the table goes over that. The table covers the big 3, and then you'll need to add additional expenses that you spend. And there's a link to 𝐕𝐚𝐠 to provide individual items you'd want to add to the table. But that's the range. There's also a link explaining how the cost of living table works. You can read that also. The table here estimates the cost of living for 1 month for 1 person as a temporary visitor. It only includes rent, 2 meals per day, and local transportation. For a full understanding of what it would cost you to live here, as I say, there's a link to 𝐕𝐚𝐠. You can add anything that's not mentioned in the table to come up with your personal estimate to live here. Never move anywhere until you have visited first personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle and needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit and this post. Your costs will likely be drastically different depending on your lifestyle and the time since this post. Here are the livability factors I would recommend that you use to determine whether or not you could live here and retire on $800 a month in Dumaguete, Philippines. Dumaguete livability factors. Before you decide whether or not you could retire on $800 a month in Dumaguete, Philippines, you should consider more than just the cost of living. Next, we rate the livability factors as high, medium, or low. Walkability, high. Dumaguete is highly walkable. If you lived in the central area of Dumaguete City, you could walk everywhere. Another nearby great area that's walkable is called Valencia. It's about 10 minutes drive west of Dumaguete. If you lived in Valencia, you could also walk everywhere if you lived in the central area of it. Internet, high. The first place we stayed in Dumaguete had an awful internet connection. Luckily there was a co-working space 2 doors down that had lightning fast internet, 30 megabits per second up and down internet speeds. The second place we stayed had an amazing internet connection, 20 megabits per second up and download speeds. Okay, food, medium. The food prices will seem too high when you first get here, when you hang out in the touristy areas in central Dumaguete. But once you explore where the locals eat in the downtown area, and you should be able to keep your restaurant budget more easily. However, the Filipino diet is a little too meat-centric for my taste as a vegetarian, so I found myself cooking at home more here than other parts of Southeast Asia. In that case, buy your produce, rice, grains at the public market, link provided, to save money. Stay away from the supermarkets unless you can't find something in the public market. They're just a little more expensive. Weather, high. In terms of weather, Dumaguete has a wet and a dry season. June through November is wet, December through May is dry. The wettest months receive about 125 millimeters or 5 inches of rain per month. The hottest months are April and May, with the daily averages highs of 88 to 89 Fahrenheit, which is 31 to 32 Celsius, respectively. The coolest months are January and February, with daily highs of about 84 Fahrenheit or 29 Celsius. That to me is just about perfect weather. I'll let you decide for yourself. Okay, things to do. Hi, Dumaguete has a small town feel to it. The people are friendly and live a relaxed, easygoing life here. I ran into a group of retired Americans at the McDonald's fast food across the street from the park, the Central Park in Dumaguete. And they said Dumaguete is not as good as it once was. They said it is getting too crowded, too much traffic compared to 5 years ago. I asked them if they had been to other towns in the Philippines, and one jokingly said all of the towns. I asked what town they would retire in today if they moved to the Philippines. All 6 agreed they would retire in Dumaguete if they moved to the Philippines today. It was still their favorite place. None of them wanted to move back to America. It's cheap to live here. The healthcare is great. There are several universities in the area, so the town is alive and dynamic. There are several beautiful islands just a ferry ride away for weekend trips, which you'll see in our videos. There are mountains to climb and waterfalls to play in. There's scuba fishing, snorkeling, turtle watching, whale watching, and beautiful locals. We love it so much, we decided to stay here instead of fly home during the coronavirus epidemic. We're here now. Expats, hi. The Philippines in general are great for English speakers. The locals all speak English. A few have accents that will be hard to understand when you first arrive, but before long you'll understand what they're saying. All of the signs are even in English, but many of the expats you see walking around will be hanging out with other expats. Most of the expats I met were men 65 to 80 years old with girlfriends 15 to 30 years younger than them. Many have started second and third families. There is a place many people come to and never leave. that's what Dumaguete is. It reminds me of the Hotel California song by the Eagles. If you have specific questions about Dumaguete, join one of the Facebook web pages and start asking questions. I've provided links to 4 of them here for your convenience. Medical, hi. Cebu and Manila are considered medical tourism destinations. Dumaguete is third only to those 2, according to what a few expats told me. There's even a medical school at the largest university here. Exploratory visa. Hi. For your exploratory visa to the Philippines, Americans and Malaysians, that's what 𝐕𝐚𝐺 is, and many other foreign countries, can obtain a free 30-day visa stamp upon arrival at the international airport, Cebu, Manila, Davao, and also here. Well, not at the international airport here. You'll get it when you land, and then you'll transfer to Dumaguete. We were able to get a 29-day extension for a total of 59 days in Davao. That's also available here. There's a link here to the immigration office in Dumaguete. It costs $60 US to extend 29 days. We only needed a passport and the money. There's no longer a picture required for the extension application. You can complete it in about 5 minutes. Here in Dumaguete, you can pick up extensions. They run about $40 to $60 a month up to the 6-month period, but then you'd have to move on to the retirement visa if you want to stay past 6 months. As stated in my top 10 mistakes international retirees make, I recommend you spend several months here, at least 3 to 6, before considering obtaining a retirement visa. Okay, retirement visas. Hi. There's a visa program for people 35 to 49 years of age if you're healthy and active and able to deposit $20,000 in an approved Filipino retirement account. This visa allows you to live in but not invest in the Philippines, and you can pay extra for dependents. You just need the money, medical clearance, and a police clearance. The most popular visa allows investment in the Philippines and requires a larger deposit. For those 35 to 49 with a $50,000 deposit, or those 50 years or older with a $10,000 deposit. Either can also show $800 monthly for individuals or $1,000 for couples. You'll have the right to invest in the Philippines. Or if you are 50 years, you can avoid providing income proof with a $50,000 deposit to get your retirement visa. Income requirements can be shown with Social Security Administration stating your benefit amount or pension information. Real estate. Hi, rents are cheap. This is not professional advice, but I don't think I would buy real estate in the Philippines. If somebody recommends that, they probably have a conflict of interest for you. I would recommend you just lease here month to month. It's so cheap. The rents are cheap, and you can just hand the keys back to the landlord when you leave or when you move to another part of the Philippines or another part of the world. Okay, banking, I would say medium. This is not professional advice, but I recommend leaving your money in your home country bank and take out money as needed at ATMs. When you're in a foreign country, it's much easier to get into a mess than to get out of one. You may decide, if you decide to get a retirement visa, to put some money in a local bank, but other than that, I would keep my money in my local country. Pollution. Hi, Dumaguete is on the ocean, so the air seemed fairly good to us. So I was not surprised to learn it was good on the day I checked, link provided, but it's often listed as moderate. Maybe it's all the jeepneys which seem to be spewing smoke out the back. Like most of Southeast Asia, it's not unusual to see single-use bags as you spune about the city as you travel around, but it's not as bad as other places in Southeast Asia or larger cities in the Philippines. Dumaguete overall desirability score for retirement, I would say high. We love this place. It is our favorite so far in the Philippines. Camiguin Island is also close second to Dumaguete. So I would say yes to the question, is this possible to retire on $800 a month in Dumaguete? I would say yes. If you're finding any value here, could you please like it, share, or subscribe? Your simple act of kindness would move us up in the Google and YouTube search rankings. Okay, Dumaguete facts and history. Here are some interesting Dumaguete facts and history. But first, if you're interested in learning how I was able to fire my boss and travel the world, click more information below and get a copy of my free ebook, How to Fire Your Boss and Travel the World. Okay, Dumaguete facts and history. Dumaguete is the largest city and capital of Negros Oriental province of the Philippines. It's located on the coast in the southeast corner of the island province. There were about 131,000 people living here during the last census in 2015. The character and everyday life of Dumaguete is influenced by the university atmosphere created by the 4 universities and many colleges here. The most famous university, Silman University, was founded in 1901, making it the first American university built in Asia. 45,000 of 131,000 people living in Dumaguete are students, so that is a student town. Because of all the graduating students from Dumaguete, it has been a reliable hub for business process outsourcing, BPO, all over the world. It is one of the BPO centers offering both local employees and visiting customers one of the nicest working environments because the city is small and more quaint than other BPO centers around the Philippines. In 2014, Forbes magazine named Dumaguete the 7th most popular city in the world to retire, behind Algarve, Portugal, Cuenca, Ecuador, and Georgetown, Malaysia, Chiang Mai, Thailand, Pau, France, and Medellin, Colombia. In 2018, the Philippine Retirement Authority named Dumaguete the best place to retire in the Philippines. In addition to students and retirees, Dumaguete attracts many international tourists because of the beach resorts, dive sites, and dolphin and whale watching. There is a Sanjurat festival in Dumaguete every September. The festival expressly celebrates Dumaguete's history of welcoming foreigners. The welcoming cultural pre-existed Spanish colonial times when people from foreign cultures arrived here and created a diverse culture and citizenship. The festival includes dancing to drums by school-aged children of Dumaguete. The dancing parade ends in Quezon Park, where grand prizes are awarded for creativity and expression. The traditional dances tell stories about the Dumaguete traditions. Another festival, the Buglasan Festival, is celebrated every October. The festival activities are everywhere, but mostly centered in Dumaguete. The street dancing activities happen on the 3rd Friday of the month of October. Like almost everywhere in the Philippines, shopping malls are the place to see and be seen. There are 7 large markets in and around the city. Please subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or our YouTube channel to watch us move around the world. To find out about our Retire Cheap in Paradise members only benefits and reports, watch the video at the link below. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Thank you for your interest in our Retire on 800 a month in Dumaguete, Philippines information. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner?